Hey, AG Squared here. Now, today let's talk about one of the most important growth mindset qualities, learning. I'll cover two things. First, I'll share a model that summarizes learning styles and defines them. Second, toward the end, I'm going to make this real by sharing how I reflect and see my various learning styles in action throughout my day. Learning styles are the ways that you prefer to receive and process information. There are many models that generalize various learning styles, but I'm going to talk about the VARK model, which stands for visual, auditory, reading, writing, and kinesthetics. Note, I share this not to make it seem like you'll fall into yet another overgeneralized bucket. No, that's not the goal. My hope is instead to encourage you to reflect on a recent experience when you learned something new and ask yourself two things. First, how painful was the feeling of learning? Not the actual material that you learned, but rather the experience through that in which you went about learning that. Second question, how well did you retain what you learned? Now, most people are going to be a combination of these four styles I mentioned, but they may have a dominant one that suits them better for a majority of learning topics. Being self-aware of your dominant learning style can help you improve your effectiveness on learning and retaining material. So let's recap all these four styles. First up, visual learners like to see information in the form of images, graphs, diagrams, videos, and other visuals. They learn best when they can visualize concepts and relationships. Auditory listeners like to hear information in the form of lectures, podcasts, audiobooks, discussions, and music. They learn best when they can listen and repeat what they hear. Reading/writing learners, on the other hand, like to read and write information, in the form of texts, books, articles, notes, and lists. They learn best when they can read and write their own summaries and reflections. Lastly, kinesthetic learners like to touch, move information around in the form of physical activities, experiments, simulations, and games. They learn best when they can use their hands and body to experience and practice what they learn. Most people are a combination of these four styles, but they may have a dominant one that suits them best. To find out your learning style, you can take quizzes online, or in my preferred way, just reflect on how you prefer to learn new things over your course of life and over the course of many experiences. So, time to make this real and personal. Going through my own reflection, I quickly identified that my dominant learning style is as a visual learner. But it depends on what I'm learning. Sometimes I'm slightly more of a reader/writer or kinesthetic learner. One thing is also for certain, I am not an auditory learner. If you put me through a lecture or force me to listen to a podcast, what's going to end up happening is this. Not effective learning. Now, let me share a recent example where I noticed my learning styles in action. I'm actually currently studying to get my real estate license. As part of this journey, I have to go through 72 hours of online material. Yes, wish me luck, please. This material is primarily reading text on a screen with a mixture of some online videos. As I'm going through this material, I notice myself reading the content and writing down notes in my own way of organizing the topics. Let me show you. Notice the chapters and sub-chapters here. As for the videos, well, I skip them entirely and instead read the transcript. If I was just to watch the videos, I'd easily get distracted. Here is another example. This one in my engineering profession. Yesterday, I had to learn something new. For my tech-savvy audience, I needed to deploy a Python web application on Azure. This application was written in Streamlit, which I hadn't used before. But okay, enough tech. Reflecting back on this challenge, the learning approach I took was as followed. First, I researched and read about these different frameworks and new tools. Second, with the knowledge gained from this particular topic, the best way for me to actually learn it was by writing the code. This act of me writing code, building code, running the code, and finally deploying the code is an example of kinesthetic learning. I'm here doing it. So to recap, like me, don't feel compelled to corner yourself to only one particular learning style. Instead, be curious. Try to learn using different approaches and find what works best for you, given a particular topic. Well, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you did, please like and share this video with your friends. And don't forget to follow me for more educational content and a plethora of other topics that I'm passionate about. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.